Hi, I'm Chinedu Mosu, and I'm a business application consultant with Gems Consult. In this video, we'll be looking at account schedules on Microsoft Dynamics NEV. So we'll be seeing how to create a simple account schedule, how to create column layouts, how to create account schedules with dimension, and how to run account schedules with budget. So now we'll go on to the application. Account Schedule is a financial reporting tool inside NEV where you can create live reports straight out of your chart of accounts. Now I'm on the Accounting Manager Rule Center, and to get to Account Schedules, I click on Analysis on the ribbon and then I go to Account Schedules. Or I can use the search bar and then I search for Account Schedules. So these are the list of existing account schedules in my company. To create a new account schedule, I click on New. So I want to create a simple income statement. Now, the default column layout, so this is where you specify the column layout you want to this account schedule to be attached to. So now account schedules are made up of rows and columns. So we would see where we have the page to define the rows, and then as the video goes on, we'll see how to define the columns for the account schedule. So I'm going to select this balance, and then to edit the account schedules, I click on Edit Account Schedules on the ribbon. So on this page, this is where we define the rows for the reports we intend to design. So I'm going to pull out I want to design a simple or a sample income statement. So to do that, I want to go to my chart and then pull out all my income statement accounts. So I can do that by using the Insert GL account on the ribbon, and then I scroll down to where I have my income statements. So I highlight all my income statements accounts, and then I click on OK. So the system automatically transfers all my income statement accounts on this very page. So now the row number, this is the row number for the particular line on this account schedule. The description gives you the detail of that line. The totaling type specifies the type of account for that line. So if it's a posting account, it indicates that the GL account mapped to this line is a posting account. If it's a total account, it specifies that the GL account mapped to this line is a total account. And then we have formula, where you can define calculations on the report. Totaling, this is where you specify the posting account, totaling account, or formula as the case may be. We have the row type. We have net change, balance at date, and then beginning balance. So the values you pick here is dependent on the type of report you intend to spool out at the end of the day. Amount type. So we have net amount, debit amount, or credit amount. So if I select debit amount, it means that for the line of this report, the system will only call up the debit amount on that line. And same thing goes for credit. Show opposite sign. So we know that for our sales account, on our revenue account on NAV, it has a negative figure. So if you want the report to come out as a positive, you can use the show opposite sign button. Then we have show. So these are different criteria for which you want this line to show on your report. So if I choose no, it means I don't want this line to show on the account schedule. If any column not zero, so it means that only when there is a value on that particular line, that is when that line should come up on the account schedule. If there is no value, the line is hidden. And then when positive balance, when negative balance, so it means when the account has a positive balance, that's when it will show, or when the account has a negative balance. And then we have some other features: bold, italic, underline, and new page. So now to run this simple income statement, I click on Overview on the ribbon. Now on the General tab, we have the account schedule name. On the column layout, we have the column layout name, which we had specified earlier. So this is the column balance. As the video goes on, we'll see how to create a column. Then we have view by, so this specifies how you want the figures to come up. So if I select D, I intend these figures to come up by day, week, month, quarter, as the case may be. So I'm going to select month. And then we have date filter. So this is where you specify the date filter for which you want the live figures to come up. Now I have my income statement and then the balances. So I also have the possibility of going into this line to see how the figures came up, or what makes up the figures on each line. So to do that, I can just click on this drill down button, and then the system tells me that the figures are coming from this account, this sales account. I can also drill down on the net page, net change, to see the ledger entries that make up that figure on my live report. Okay, so this is a simple income statement that we have generated. Now, I'm going to create another simple income statement for us to see some other features on the account schedules. So on this page, I can decide to shrink. So if I don't want to see all these GL accounts, I'm only concerned about the total accounts, I can come in here and then I can delete this. So I can also delete all these accounts, leaving just the totaling accounts, since I'm only interested in the totaling account. So let's run the account schedule again. So I click on overview. So now you see that I don't have all the accounts, so I only have my totaling accounts and my figures here. So this is fine. So if I wanted my revenue account to come up as positive, I can use the show opposite sign button here. So I check this and then I do overview. So the figures come up as positive. So this is fine. So I'm going to create another, I want to create another income statement just for the purpose of my sales. So I want to create profit for my retail. So to do that, I create a new account schedule. So I'm going to call this PFR, profits for retail. And then I edit my account schedule. So on here, I want to go into my GL accounts and specify just my accounts for my retail. So I want to call up my sales retail account, and I want to call up my cost retail account as well. Okay, so we have this. So once I do my overview, the system automatically shows me the live figures of my sales for my retail and my cost for my retail. So for me to define my gross, I need to add another line of row here. So I can come in here and add another row number, and then I'm going to call this gross profit. So my totaling type is going to be formula. So I want to get the profit, I want to get the net between my sales for retail against my cost for retail. So the formula would be, ideally, it should be my sales minus my cost. But since my revenue account is in negative, so I'm going to be doing the row for my sales plus the row for the cost. So if I want my gross profit to come out as bold, I check this as bold. Now I'll do my overview. So now we can see the figure here for the gross profit. So if I click on this drill down button, the system shows me the calculation or the formula for which it arrived at this figure. So the system says row 6195 plus row 7195, which happens to be our total sales for retail against our total cost for retail. So my gross profit, also if I want to make my gross profit appear as a positive, on the account schedule, I can come in here and click on show opposite sign. So once I run this report, I'd see that my gross profit is now appearing as positive. So now I want to create a new column. So I don't want to see, so for my column for my report, I don't want to see balance. I want to see the current the net change of any period I'm on and the year to date. So to do that, on this column, I can drill down here. To create a new column, I click on new. So I'm going to call this, let me call this period year to date. Okay, Now to edit the column, you click on Edit Column Layout Setup. Now on this page, this is where you now define the columns you want for your account schedules. So I'm going to come here. So for my row 1, for the first row, I'm going to call this net change. And I'll leave my column type as net change.